Tonight on the Northwestern News Report, 3 recent shootings in the city of Evanston. We see how the community is responding.
And a housing change on campus. Plex RA rooms being transformed into doubles next year.
Plus, it's that time of year, the Evanston Farmers Market celebrating its grand opening for 2026.
All that and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news
right now. Good evening and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Jonas Calderon Blum.
And I'm Katarzyna Nguyen. A 57-year-old man has passed away after falling from a roof on Northwestern's campus last Thursday. Thomas Darcy was operating construction equipment at the Allen Center construction site. City officials say Darcy accidentally fell 4 stories. He was pronounced dead at the scene from multiple injuries inflicted by the fall. Darcy was a resident of Schaumburg, Illinois. The Evanston Police Department says there were no signs of criminal activity. An investigation is ongoing.
3 gun-related incidents occurring in Evanston over the last 2 weeks. The first shootings in almost a year. NNN's Grace Wong has our top story.
Shots fired and a man injured on Howard Street. The first shooting in Evanston in nearly a year.
Right behind me is Nichols Middle School, where just a block away from here is where police found the victim from Evanston's first shooting in nearly a year. The last shooting that occurred in Evanston was in June 2025 when a patient shot a security guard at Evanston Hospital. Since then, there have been 2 more gun-related incidents, including one in Mason Park and another one on Dodge Avenue and Lyon Street.
The string of shootings causing Evanston Township High School to go into soft lockdown, and Evanston police to increase patrols and security measures. According to ETHS's Director of Communication, Ray and Hannah, EPD increased patrols during school arrival and dismissal times, providing reassurance to the school's community. Angelo Frigo says his son was at school during the soft lockdown.
I felt mixed emotions because at least I knew my son was safe. But at the same time, it's a big concern because this park is an extension of our home.
And experts say that as the weather warms up, shootings may be more prevalent.
Gun violence stuff and shootings increases during the warmer months, unfortunately.
A study in Chicago between 2012 and 2016 found that for a daily temperature of 18 degrees above the historical average, shootings increased by 34% on weekdays and 42% on weekends. EPD initiated violence suppression efforts last weekend in response to the shootings, including increased neighborhood patrols and investigative spots. But some say these are not long-term solutions.
It'll feel safe while the patrols are happening, but when they go home at night, then what? Or before they get here in the morning, then what?
Police have arrested 20-year-old Zakara Lee and 18-year-old Arthur Mitchell Jr. for involvement in the Mason Park and Howard Street shooting, respectively. But community members are looking for more answers.
Nothing changes because the problem didn't get actually solved. We literally are putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Grace Wong, Northwestern News Network.
And if you hear or see anything suspicious, EPD encourages residents to call 911 immediately.
Chicago Citizens United for a May Day protest this past week, a day honoring generations of laborers. Samantha Monje Grajales went to the event and spoke with attendees.
May Day protest originated in Chicago in 1886. The day commemorates the Chicago Haymarket Affair, when dozens of people were wounded while protesting in support for an 8-hour workday. This year, there was an increased emphasis on the importance of immigrants in Chicago's labor history.
Gracias a los inmigrantes, Chicago celebra el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores.
Mujica was not the only one to speak to the immigrant community. Margarita Morelos said that the immigrant community won't be smaller or minimized due to the Trump administration. She finished her speech with a chant. The crowd showed the support with cheers and chants. The director of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, Lawrence Benito, says his organization is continuing to fight for rights despite recent changes to immigration enforcement policies.
So we're going to continue to fight for the undocumented. We're going to continue to fight for policies that would create permanent residency for people with DACA, TPS holders, people people seeking asylum.
The protest also covered animal rights and Chicago unions. Leo Magone, who works with Animal Rights Collective of Chicago, defends animals from harm and discrimination.
Yo estoy envolvido con un grupo que pelea por los derechos de los animales.
Some high school students also attended the protest.
Union rights is the most important thing to secure so we can strengthen and continue to have a middle class that can go to these things.
I think that the most important issue to be here is immigration rights and stopping ICE.
Samantha Monje-Grajales, Northwestern News Network.
The protest will be back next year on May 1st.
Now, if you've been in downtown Evanston recently, you may have noticed some construction cones, and that's because Fountain Square's South Plaza is currently under construction for utility and landscaping improvements. And NNN's Chris Kim is live for us right now at Fountain Square. There he is with more on the current construction. Chris?
All right, thanks, Jonas. As you can see right behind me, there is all this fencing that's happening on South Plaza right now for construction that's been ongoing since early April. Now, just over there on Orrington Avenue, there's a sign reminding drivers not to take a left turn onto Davis Street and to instead take a detour onto Grove Street just to go all around the plaza. What's interesting to know is that this is one of several infrastructure projects that the city of Evanston is undertaking right now as part of its capital improvements program. According to the city, they expect that this project is going to be costing around $600,000. Now, what's noteworthy about the project itself is that amongst the many improvements they're doing, they're actually not fixing the fountain itself with this project, which has been shut off since 2021. Now, this construction is going to be here for a bit more longer, as the city of Evanston's website says that as of now, they're expecting that this project is going to be finished by early July of this year. Back to you in the studio.
Chris Kim live for us in downtown Evanston. NNN will keep you up to date on air and across our socials.
District 65 Superintendent Angel Turner reversed her decision to eliminate 2 librarian positions. The announcement comes 2 weeks after the initial reassignment of the librarians. The original motion faced widespread backlash from the Evanston community. According to a District 65 spokesperson, the move would have only saved the district $270,000. compared to the original estimate of $387,000. The district is still facing a budget deficit and plans to close 2 schools at the end of the school year to cut costs. And coming up, the results of the Marriage Pact are out. I break down the 2025 Northwestern Campus Report.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. A walking tour this past week taught Evanston residents about the history of redlining in the city. And with us now in the studio is NNN's Nina Bowens, explaining the significance of this experience. Nina?
Last Saturday, housing advocacy group Open Communities launched a week-long exhibit to honor Evanston's housing history. Titled Beyond the Red Line, the exhibition is a walking tour from Gibbs Morrison Cultural Center to Central Street, with first-person narratives from residents who faced housing discrimination along the path. The tour crosses through various business hubs. It explores the present-day impact of unequal housing in Evanston and invites participants to reflect on how to support neighbors and create a more inclusive community. Historically, Evanston was heavily redlined by the Federal Homeowners Loan Corporation in the 1930s. They designated some areas colored green as worthy of federally backed mortgages. Others, colored red, were hazardous for mortgage investment. Many of the neighborhoods classified as hazardous were predominantly black. The Beyond the Red Line project, which drew over 200 citizens to their opening event and tour, served as a reminder of Evanston's history. Planning began in January and included over 15 in-depth interviews with residents and community groups. In the past, Open Communities have had similar events, such as Walk the Red Line. What makes this week different, however, is their personal anecdotes that bring neighbors together. According to the Open Communities website, the exhibit is a call to action to intensify advocacy for equal access to housing. Back to you, Jonas.
Thanks, Nina. Although the official event has finished, residents can still hear those stories at opencommunities.org.
For the upcoming 2026 to 2027 academic year, some Northwestern resident assistants, or RAs, are seeing their rooms shrink. NNN's Callie Proctor has more on some of the changes taking place in our on-campus residences.
According to the university, Northwestern Residential Services reviews RA room placements each year to balance the needs of residents, the RA role, and operational requirements. For the upcoming academic year, this balance is bringing additional changes. Some RA rooms, which are traditionally larger and single occupancy, are being transformed into doubles, while those RAs are being moved into traditional size rooms.
I know that there are some people that were more upset than others that, like for their senior year or their second or third year RAing, and now their room is getting shrunk.
In a statement to NNN, the university said, quote, "Due to high demand for on-campus housing among first and second year students, several RA rooms in Foster Walker and one in Shepherd were relocated for the 2026 to 2027 academic year. This change has left some RAs feeling caught off guard.
I think for RAs who are in the areas that are being affected might have taken it a little bit as a surprise, because obviously it's different from the past however many years that RAs have been guaranteed a larger room.
Many current RAs found out about the changes for the upcoming year from their residential directors shortly before receiving their room assignments. But on the housing portal, their room type still reads as an RA unit.
I think that it was an interesting experience to find out in the way we did. And I don't know, I wonder if this is going to be a permanent change.
Callie Proctor, Northwestern News Network.
Students can also expect to see new RA rooms assigned in the renovated Bob McCullough Hall, as well as a change in the gender designation of some RA rooms across campus.
Well, you may have gotten your marriage pact in the fall, but the full data suite is officially out. On Sunday night, the 2025 campus report dropped into students' inboxes, revealing new information about the student body. Here for the marriage pact big board breakdown is NNN's Victoria Ryan. Victoria?
Thanks, Jonas. Let's talk about some of the key insights from this year's marriage pact. Now, there was a new feature this year where you could share your personal results and see how compatible you are with your friends, classmates, etc. And I'm not going to be sharing my personal results on the broadcast, but there were some interesting school-wide stats to look at. First off, how far would you go to pass your exams? It looks like for a second year, the industrial engineers and economics majors would rather cheat on a test than fail an exam. On the other hand, the physics and astronomy and electrical engineering majors would rather fail an exam than cheat. Very interesting. Now, this year, a new question: is AI a net good for society? It looks like the theater majors and psychology majors seem to have hesitations about the technology, and the computer engineering and economics majors were the most pro-AI, but it is important to note that this is only a 4.3 on a 7-point scale, so there's still not that much in favor. Now let's get to the details about relationships. Liberals and Democrats say that they avoid dating conservatives and Republicans by about 43%. On the other side, conservatives avoid dating liberals and Democrats by a much smaller percentage. And in terms of the makeup of the student body, Marriage Pact released students' self-reported political identities from the last 6 years. Now, the poll added a wider range of identities in 2023, so we're only going to look at the last 3 years. It seems that there has been a slight increase in the number of Democrats and conservatives at Northwestern. We're seeing about a little bit of an increase over time, about an 8% increase, though, for Democrats, which is pretty significant. The other identities, such as independent, apolitical, they remained largely the same. And that's it for the Marriage Pact Big Board Breakdown. We'll see you next year.
Victoria Ryan, thank you so much. And when we come back, students gather to make pisanki, or Ukrainian Easter eggs, while learning about Ukrainian culture.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, piano!
Welcome back. The weather's been going back and forth between rainy days and sunny skies this week. NNN's Linda Montejo Bartolon is in the studio to give us the forecast. Linda?
The month of May has arrived, but those consistent sunny patterns are still making its way over. We can expect mild temperatures and cloudy conditions throughout the week. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now, it is dry and cloudy with temperatures sitting around 53 degrees. For the rest of the night, we'll see our temperatures drop from around the lower 50s all the way down to 48 degrees, and those cloudy conditions will persist with us. Looking at our regional temperatures, it is mostly at 54 inland, with Chicago sitting around 55 and Evanston around 54 due to that lakefront effect. Onto our regional weather radar, we have a low pressure system down to the south and a cold front. This is helping move the storm and rainy weather down south, and since we're up north, we're mostly experiencing cloudy conditions and slightly cooler temperatures. Lastly, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Those cloudy conditions are going to persist with us. However, we will have temperatures from around with a high of 56 on Wednesday. Then Thursday, the temperatures will rise slightly, going up to a high of 58. Friday, those cloudy conditions are still there and temperatures rising with a high of 61. Saturday, the sun is back with us for a bit. We will have some slightly cloudy conditions throughout the day, but the temperatures will rise up to 73 degrees. Sunday, the sun is back, is gone, and we will have temperatures with a high of 55 and rainy conditions throughout the day.
Thanks, Linda.
The countdown is on, and Mayfest production continues to announce artists for Dillo Day, coming in just a couple weeks. Pop artist Dea, known for her hits including Hideaway and Sit Still Look Pretty, has been announced as the daytime headliner. Dea's music evoking nostalgia for Northwestern students, capturing the current resurgence of 2016-era pop and aesthetics. Plus, Lana Lubani will be the Borough stage opener, sponsored by the Middle East North African Student Association. This marks the first time a Palestinian artist has been booked for Dillo, and the first time an artist will perform in Arabic on Dillo Day. For more details on all things Dillo, you can check out their Instagram at Dillo_day.
Lean Gundogdu started Givenchy Fashion Design House to give a unique experience to each client she works with. I talked with the local designer to learn more about her inspiration.
This is one of my favorite colors. I love using gold material.
Evanston designer Lean Gundogdu's love for fashion started with her grandmother.
She used to be, design all her clothes. I've seen her sewing when I was little. She inspired me a lot.
Gundogdu began designing hats in 2014.
It's fun.
Leading her to start Givenchy, a fashion design house.
Fashion is identity. That's what I believe Givenchy is. It's more of a full kind of experience.
That experience? Custom-made clothing for her clients, tailor-fit to their style.
So when I design, I think of how my client or how the people wearing Givenchy would feel. If you create timeless pieces, you can still have them in your wardrobe forever.
Gundogdu's partner, Leo Gundogdu, runs the business side of Givenchy.
It's considered partnership with my wife Lean, but our goal is to bring awareness to Evanston and then Chicago, that fashion is important.
For the couple, Evanston was the perfect match.
Evanston's probably one of the most artistic cities in Illinois. I felt like that was part of the decision that we made an effort to be located here.
Lean Gundogdu's eyes are now on Paris Fashion Week, considered one of fashion's biggest events. Gundogdu said she hopes to be part of the larger movement, making Chicago a fashion city.
There's a lot of groups working on lifting Chicago up to become a fashion city, and I want to be part of that development, and I feel like Givenchy is representing.
From a sketch to a dress.
And this is the front, and it comes with the high neck top and an open back.
You can visit Givenchy's studio on Maple Avenue across from Benison's Bakery from Monday through Saturday.
Last month, we showed you the Evanston Police Department's partnership with state agencies for Distracted Driving Awareness Month. EPD hoping to increase awareness of the dangers of distracted driving and increase enforcement efforts. This morning, EPD announced that during the month of April, 177 hands-free citations were issued, as well as 76 other distracted driving-related citations. In a press release, Sergeant Amanda Wright said that, quote, April may be over, but our message is not. Evanston will continue enforcing distracted driving laws and urging motorists to put the phone away whenever they get behind the wheel.
The Department of Slavic Languages and Literatures hosted folk artist Janet Hundreiser in an all-day workshop on Saturday to teach NU students and the community how to make Ukrainian Easter eggs, or pizanki, and Isabella Kunk was there.
Northwestern's Slavic Studies Department hosted their 4th Spring Pizanki workshop led by folk artist Janet Hundreiser in Kresge on Saturday. The event began with a presentation by Hundreiser about Ukraine's history, Pizanki history, Ukrainian folk art traditions, and Hundreiser's own family history. Participant Daniel Duplessis said he was drawn to the event because his partner is Ukrainian.
I wanted to be able to get the opportunity to experience her heritage because this Easter we wanted to do egg decorating, but we didn't have the resources. I think it was really fun. The freedom that we had for making the eggs was really good.
Participants were provided with all the resources to wax and dye the eggs, along with guides and books to inspire creativity.
Obviously, I didn't come out with like an expert level egg, but it was really fun to do the dyeing.
Professor Elizabeth Elliott says she hopes the event builds community among students and shares Ukrainian tradition.
Another goal that we have for the workshops is kind of raising awareness also about folk art, because typically folk art is, not always, but often it is women's art, and a lot of times that has not had the same type of recognition.
The department has also hosted Ukrainian textile, wheat weaving, and spirit doll workshops. They hope to secure funding to continue planning events like these in the future.
We're just really always amazed at the students who come, what they're able to produce, and just
honoring heritage through art. Isabella Kunk, Northwestern News Network.
Isabella Kunk reporting, thank you. The Department of Slavic Languages and Literatures hopes to host another Pizanki workshop in the fall. And coming up next, how an Evanston national holiday is keeping up with changing SNAP eligibility requirements to support residents.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. It's no longer a leap month and April showers are finally giving way to May flowers, and it's time for the farmers market. On Saturday, the Evanston Farmers Market opened back up for spring and summer. NNN's Sarah Rosner talked to folks excited to see it return.
Evanston's Farmers Market sells everything from flowers to crepes to fresh produce.
Mostly I'm just in it because the weather is getting a little better and it's just a kind of a pretty thing to do on a Saturday afternoon.
Running every Saturday from May 2nd to November 21st, the market supports local farms and artisans.
The benefit is you get to buy directly from the growers who grow the stuff, and we have a vested interest in the product, and it travels shorter distances and it supports our local economy.
Evanston also runs a program called Link Match, which matches SNAP beneficiaries for up to $25 to spend at the market.
It's really beneficial for those less fortunate and those in need. It's a great supplemental way for them to get fresh organic produce, local products, and also help alleviate the budget concerns and do it in a little bit more cost-effective way.
As SNAP eligibility requirements change, the Link Match program doubles residents' purchasing power to provide greater access to fresh produce. The market even attracts non-Evanston residents. For Charlotte Jansky and Riley Pizon, it's a great way to catch up with friends.
It's nice, food's great, people are nice, good community.
We got a ring in spring.
Oh, yes.
It's the first weekend in May.
Absolutely.
What better way to celebrate?
Rain or shine, the Evanston Farmers Market will be there. Sarah Rosner, Northwestern News Network.
And if you want to check out the Evanston Farmers Market, it's open from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday behind the Hilton Garden Inn. Now, Katarzyna, I know it just opened, but have you been to the Farmers Market yet?
Not yet, but I'm really excited to go back and get Gotta Be crepes.
Oh, those crepes are so good. I always get the savory ones. What about you?
I like the sweet ones.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katarzyna Nguyen.
I'm Jonas Calderon Blum. For all of us here at the Northwestern News Network, have a great night.